Hi everybody, welcome to 2018 and our OISE summer course. I decided I'd do a quick screenshot to show you how to navigate the course initially. I know that some of you, when you look at the environment, you take a look and you see just words everywhere and it gets pretty confusing. So hopefully this will give you a hand. I've given you a welcome to class announcement by email and another one that says, welcome to class, start here. They're slightly different and each of them give you several tasks that you really should do on day one within the first walking into the course. I encourage you to play. We always want our students to play around in an environment, just click on stuff, see what it does. But the first thing you want to do is enter our course. I'm going to enter the senior science course. There's quite a few of you in there, so it's appropriate. You'll notice that when you first log in, you'll see whatever course you're logged into. Honor specialist teachers, you'll see two courses at least. You'll see your own course as well as the senior course. And senior science teachers, you'll see your course. So I click on it and you'll have this area that you can customize. I personally don't really do much with this, but it's nice to see what the announcements are. This is my chief communication with you. The very first thing you should do when you walk into the course is to take a look at the announcements. This is where I'm going to put things on a daily basis. We are spending a lot of time together over the next 3 weeks. And sometimes, depending on what happens, I might need to give you an announcement to change things, a slight direction of what one of the assignments might be. This is the place where I'm going to put it. So always, always, always check your announcements first. You can also subscribe to your announcements so that way you get an email alert if an announcement does come up. So right now there's only one announcement. By the time you log in, there might be 2 or 3. We'll see. And I will look on the left-hand side here, and you'll see the menu options here. These menus, this allows you to navigate through the course. So you'll be using most of these. If I click on this right here, it says announcements. This will give you a page which is just the announcements. If I click on this right here, this is your course syllabus. You'll see a document that you should open up, and in there you'll see what the course expectations are. You'll see all the assignments and you'll see what the course was framed around. All the courses in Ontario that are written and offered by the universities are all on the same framework, and then the ministry gives it the okay. But then there's some slight nuances. So you'll see that inside the course of study. So make sure you do take a look at that. That is where you'll find very important information. You'll also see a calendar of what we're doing on a daily, on the module basis. And in the modules, you'll see that there are several assignments, basically, I guess we'll call them. And the assignments really are in the form of a discussion forum. And this is where you're having communication. Once upon a time, these correspondence online courses, you basically had a discussion. You talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And at some point it really got to be quite meaningless. In this course we're trying to focus on meaningful conversation, so you'll notice that there's always a discourse type of discussion forum along with completion. Discourse is where you actually delve deeply into the conversation, you read other teachers' responses, you write your own response, you try to incorporate their responses to take a look at the rubric, and then you might do additional reading and additional research to make a very comprehensive, appropriate response. Okay, anyway, that's your syllabus. Over here you'll see discussion board. The very first link on the discussion board you'll see is the help forum. If you have any questions about the content, the activities, whatnot, anything that's not personally related just to you, you post it on the help forum. I will answer it. I receive the help forum post the same speed I receive an email, so don't feel that sending me an email is going to get to me quicker. And then I answer it here, and odds are if you have a question about an assignment, then other people have the same question as well. You click on create thread. You can type in an appropriate subject line. You can please be very specific with what the subject problem is, so that way anyone else looking through the help form can see what that problem is as well. So maybe you're not sure about something in module 1 or how to put in your personal information or whatever it might be. Make sure that subject line says that, and then I'm just going to say erase me so I know to get rid of this. I hit submit. Currently, a lot of discussion forums, you're not allowed to edit your post. That's just a default setting. If you make a mistake and you want a correction, just let me know and I'll change the settings so you can. And then you look at the help forum subject line. You make sure no one else has posted the same question. If they have, then maybe the answer is there. And I encourage you, if you know how to answer the question, if you know if you have the same problem and you can solve it, please feel free to answer it. This is a community. We want everyone to be able to help each other. It's not just me being the expert. Clearly, I know a little bit more. I guess I've been in this environment for quite a few years, but just because I know things, I don't want to discourage other people from giving up the same answers, especially if you're online and you see that they're having a problem. Let's help each other out. On the discussion board, you'll also see a back way to get to all the discussions. See how it's labeled Module 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on? Every single module has several discussions. And so sometimes you might click on a link and it might not go to the correct spot for a discussion forum. You can always click on the discussion on the left-hand side and then navigate, I'll call it the back end way, the back doorway, to a particular discussion. So I click on Module 1.1. Then if you're the first one, you're going to create a thread. If you're a second one, you can create your own thread. Depends. If you're responding to somebody, you respond to their thread. If you're making up your new statement, paragraph, whatever, then make your own thread. Below that, you're going to see a thing called the course modules. This is where the actual assignments are located. So start here is, you'll notice in the course announcement, I ask you to start at the start here, and there's a number of things you must complete. But you'll also find each of the modules, Module 1 through 14 and 1 through 16 for the Honor Specialist. So if I click on Module 1 here, the first couple module points are about getting to know each other, so you're filling in basic information. But eventually we're getting to the standards of practice, and the entire course is framed around the standards of practice as dictated by the ministry. So when you click on these, you'll see readings, activities to complete. As I said before, the very first ones are around play, so getting to know each other, getting to know the environment. You'll see some readings, and don't be discouraged by the dates. I mean, it's 2018. You'll see some readings from 2008 and 2009. Just because it was written 10 years ago, in many cases, it doesn't mean that it's outdated. In many cases, it's the fact that it stands a testament of time shows you that it was really well done. So I do encourage you to approach these with an open mind, read through them, respond appropriately. Sometimes you'll see links that will go off-site. Other times you'll see attachments here that you'll click on. It'll open up a PowerPoint, a PDF, a Word document, something that's related to this course. And then you'll see the discussion forum questions, sometimes highlighted in blue, and then when you click on Module 1.3, that's a discussion forum. It should open up a discussion forum where you post your response or reply to your students. Remember, if it's marked discourse, it is a conversation. There's supposed to be dialogue. You're supposed to be going back and forth. If it's completion, you're welcome to have dialogue, but you just need to actually answer the question and show them that you've actually read through the module. If I click here on assignments, you'll see these are where your assignments are located. For the senior science courses, you have several assignments. You have a concept presentation, you have a pedagogical portfolio, and then your discourse. You'll notice that that represents 100% of the mark. You can find out more information about each of these in the course syllabus, or you can find it out in this assignment area as well. You'll find some exemplars from other teachers who've made things in the past. I've modified them in some cases not to give away all the information so that you have an opportunity. For those of you working through the concept presentation, please note that there are many, many aspects to it. I might do a second one of these to talk a little bit more detail about the concept presentation. I know initially when you look at it, it's very overwhelming. For the honor specialist teachers, you're going to have something that's similar. It's called a unit plan. It's like the concept presentation, but it encompasses an entire unit instead of just a concept. And both of these do look very overwhelming, but once you get into the course and you're working 6 to 9 hours a day on this, you'll very quickly get yourself embedded in the whole feel of what's expected. And of course, if you don't understand, you're going to ask me questions, and I'll clarify, and I'll also post up some exemplars you can look at. The pedagogical portfolio for the senior science students, this is basically a summary of your learning in the course in a portfolio format, and then hopefully you can use that for some kind of application or just to show how much you've learned from day 1 through day 25. The honor specialist student teachers, you do not have a portfolio like this. You have a different activity known as a seminar, and the seminar you'll be leading the senior science teachers through seminars, and they'll be learning from you, and you'll have a leadership role. And of course, the online discourse is the same for both senior science and the honor specialist, in that 50% of the course mark is determined through your discourse. The discourse is both in the discussion forums as well as some collaborative activities, as well as for the honor specialist student teachers, you'll be summarizing some of the discussion forums the senior science teachers are going through, as well as other discourse that happens in the activities, the seminar specifically. So that's how you navigate to the course at the beginning. So when you go to the course modules and you go to start here, you'll see the contact info. It'll open up a Google Doc. For those who are familiar with Google Doc, this will be easy. For those who've never used Google Doc before, it's an extremely valuable tool both for your personal organization, professional organization, within school. If you're a school board, allows you to use it. Many boards do have Google Docs, and they're promoting it for teacher and student use, so hopefully you're in that boat. If you're not, it's very simple to use. You'll see the project sign up depending on whether or not you're in the senior science class or this honor specialist class. Either way, you'll see a Google Doc where you're signing up for a particular presentation, and then it talks a little bit about the organization of Blackboard. Blackboard has a lot of limitations. It is not the most intuitive interface, but it's what we use, so please do your best. As I said before, you'll do your play for a little while, just click on stuff and see what happens. You can't destroy anything, so I encourage you to click as much as possible. When you look at the initial announcement here, you'll see that I've asked you to look through the course announcements. I've asked you to go through those menu items, to scan through the help forum, which there's nothing there at the moment, to look at the course schedule. The course calendar I've not posted yet as of creating this video, so I can't show you that. The Start Here module I clicked on just already. The module 1 I think is self-explanatory. If you're going to email me at utoronto.ca or my gmail.com address. They both go to the same spots. You'll notice that the course is set in such a way that we complete a module a day, and the modules typically due at midnight. I will look at the modules in the morning, and then I'll give you some feedback. I typically collect my feedback over the week, and then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I give the feedback for the week. I don't usually participate in the discussion forums myself. I will occasionally, but most of my feedback happens through an email to you. You'll also notice that there is a course wiki I've created where you can share a little bit more information about yourself and some of the activities. I encourage you to dump in the wiki, the Google Doc, so that you can take them home, quotation marks, and use them more effectively when Blackboard does shut down, because it doesn't remain open forever. You will be on here a lot. This is a compressed, very fast course. Some of the other universities run this over 6 weeks, if not longer. We run it over 3 weeks, but that gives you most of your summer. But it does mean for the 3 weeks you are together, you will be completely invested in this. There are typically no time-dependent slots, meaning that I don't expect you on at 9 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 3 p.m. or whatever. You are expected to be online, working through the environment, and as long as you complete the modules, you're good. There are going to be a couple of field trips, quotation marks again, and those will be at specific times. They can't be helped. And if you can make it, great. If you can't, well, there might be a screen recording or something like that you can see. Deadlines, please be aware the deadlines, as I said before, are midnight. If you can't make it, then let me know, and then we'll work around it, I guess. Generally speaking, you are expected to complete the work. If you don't complete any of the modules, you will not get the accreditation, and that'd be unfortunate. Once you work through the first announcement, I've asked you to complete this little series of questions here and email them to me, and this just allows me to see that you've worked your way through it and you know how to navigate the course. Most of the initial questions I get are because teachers have not read the initial announcements or the syllabus or the help forum, and so on and so on and so on. By answering these first initial questions, then I will know that you've read through them, and then we'll be all on the same page. Okay? So as I said before, the only thing I haven't uploaded up to now is the course calendar. I will pull the calendar up here. Here's the course calendar. I'll make it a little larger so you can see it. In the course calendar here, you'll notice that every single day there's a module assigned and there's discussion forums. For the first little bit, it's only discussion in the modules. but you are selecting assignments very early on, and then from basically day one, you should be spending an hour or so each day, or half an hour or so each day, whatever it takes, working on your seminar, your concept presentation, your unit plan, your pedagogical portfolio, whatever it happens to be. You'll notice that these deadlines for Wednesday is Wednesday at midnight, or technically by the time I wake up on Thursday. Sometimes I do mark on Wednesday after midnight, and I just collect the information and off I go. So if things come in a bit late, you might not get the appropriate feedback. Module 2, you'll notice is Thursday, and that due date is Thursday at midnight, and so on. If you take a look at the 11th, you'll see this green highlight. So this is a day deadline. It means that on this day, the concept plan progress report is due. On this day, the 16th, the concept presentations are posted. And this is a collaborative activity where the teachers in the senior science class will be looking at each other's. For the honor specialist teachers, you have a presentation as well. It's a seminar. It actually happens to be on the 17th and 18th. And on the 17th, you'll notice a seminar is going to be posted, and the 18th, we have a medium-sized class. So some seminars will happen on the 17th, some will happen on the 18th. The senior science teachers, you'll be attending the seminars on the 17th and 18th. So you'll notice that your content coursework is actually minimal on the 17th and 18th because you'll be attending those seminars. On the 25th, it's the last day of class, everything's due. You'll notice some of the modules, they're just assigned for reading. They're reading, and there's no modules, discussion forums. In the initial calendar, there might be some discussion forums assigned, but as you go through the course, depending on your, how well you're keeping up with the material, I might actually remove some of those discussions and just assume that you've read it and you're incorporating it into the major evaluations. I believe that's it. This is a relatively long video, and I think I'll stop talking and give you some more time throughout the day to really digest what's going on. All right? So I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Remember to email me or use the help forum especially if you have any questions whatsoever. Please do not sit there all frustrated, but do play. Talk to you soon.